Okay, so organizing my home and life. Part of that is housework and theme days and planning. Um, so, my biggest problem with keeping my house organized is that I never actually want to make time for it. So, by having different themes for my days, it actually helps to keep me on track. This may be crazy, but it's an idea that I totally stole from the Fly Lady website, and it's working great for me. It may not necessarily work for you, but it's what I need. So I'm just going to show you what I did. First, I divided my home into zones. These are the same zones that are on the Fly Lady website if you want to use those, or you can also use your own zones, whatever. Obviously, you can customize this to whatever you need. So once I had the house divided into different areas, these are the main areas of my home that need upkeep and maintenance, and areas that also there's various organizational projects that I do. So right now in my foyer, I have like a little sort of bookshelf that's there when you first come in, and that's where I keep all of the recipe books that I have. Because that bookshelf faces the kitchen, and so when I'm in the kitchen and I need something, I can just go to the bookshelf and grab it. But the shelf itself is completely disorganized. So the recipe books that are there, I don't even use all of them, so some of them have to get donated. There's also like other stuff started to wind up there because it's right at the front entrance, so it's like sunglasses and coins and other stuff. So when I was walking through my house making my giant list of projects that I wanted to tackle, one of the things was, reorganizing the front closet, putting some baskets in there so that things stay organized. Other things like just various little things that drive you crazy around your house that you've always wanted to do. That's the kind of stuff that was on that list. By dividing my house into zones, I was able to keep the list, even though it looks like a super overwhelming long list of things to do. I was actually able to keep it in little bite-sized pieces. So if every month I divide okay, sorry, I don't know how am I explaining this. My home is divided into zones. Every week of every month, I focus on one zone. So the first week of the month, it's the foyer. The second week, kitchen. Third week, den and bathroom, etc. That means that for that whole first week, I have one separate project that I'm working on in that zone. So for foyer, the project might be reorganize the front bookshelf. That can be my project. That means that at some point during that week, I need to do that. It shouldn't take very long to do. It should be a project that can get done within, like, I would say at most an hour, but typically they take like 15-20 minutes. Reorganize that front bookshelf or do whatever I need to do. And that's also the area that I'm deep cleaning. So that means that at some point during that week, that little area is going to get deep cleaned, as in like shelves dusted, area vacuumed, whatever. And this is in addition to whatever weekly cleaning is happening. So if every week you vacuum all of your rugs and you dust all of your surfaces, you pick a day and just deep clean that one area. So you never have to worry about like spring cleaning because everything is always deep cleaned, or at least deep cleaned once a month. Does that make sense? I feel like that didn't make sense, but it does if you like think about it. Okay, anyway, so house is divided into zones, and then I'm able to divvy up each project so that every month one project happens in each of those zones. So by the end of the month, I've done like 6 different things in my house. It's simple. I made time for it. I planned it. It didn't take very long. Like, I don't know. It just made it much easier just to get started and start making my home be as organized and useful to me as I wanted it to be. So my theme days. Every single week I have theme days. There's only 6 because I have like one free day that's not themed at all. And all of these things are things that just need to happen every week that I need to make time for. So date night / family night, this is when Steven and I spend time together. We may not necessarily go out, so it doesn't always have to mean every single week you go out and you spend like $100 on like dinner and a movie and ice cream after. But it's just time that we spend together. So it might be like date night at home. It might just be we make dinner together and then we play a game, like a board game. Or it might be that right after dinner we take a walk, just the two of us. Or it might be, I don't know, maybe we go to a concert. Maybe we just like whatever. Like that's our date night. So we do that every single week. And it's usually like something more special than just the two of us like sitting on the couch, both of us on our separate phones, playing our separate weird apps and watching TV at the same time. Um, Pet care day. So pet care days is we have 4 cats. Here's one. Um, I have 4 cats and they all need brushing and they all need their claws cut. So one day a week they all get brushed. This is also when usually like the litter box gets washed out and stuff. They don't get their claws cut every single week because they don't really need it, but if their claws are going to be cut that week, that's when it happens. Spirit Day is just for like a day. It's just a day where I don't do anything that I don't want to do, and I make sure that I do at least one thing that's just for me. So maybe I give myself a hair mask or a face mask or a foot mask, whatever. Maybe I take a really long bath. Maybe I like, I don't know, just sit and read a book and just spend time with myself. I don't know, but that's what happens on Spirit Day. On Planning Day, this is when Stephen and I sit down and we figure out what meals we're going to have for the upcoming week, and we figure out what we need to buy in the grocery, and we figure out what our schedule is going to be. So we figure out what all of these days are going to be. That's another thing. I work in retail, and my schedule changes every single week, so it can't always be that date night is every Friday. Sometimes date night has to be on Wednesday. You know what I mean? So Saturday is the only fixed day. So Saturday is always planning day. Every single Saturday, Stephen and I sit down and we plan out our meals, what we need at the grocery, and what other days for the upcoming week this is all going to happen. Anti-procrastination day. This is the day that any of my projects happen. So if, let's say, I'm in zone 1, it's the foyer, and I am reorganizing that bookshelf, that's going to happen on anti-procrastination day. Typically, this is one of my days off that I'm home the entire day. And typically, this is also when the laundry happens. So any kind of household chore will definitely happen on anti-procrastination day. I also try to make this the day that we do our like weekly house cleaning, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it has to happen on a different day. But no matter what, weekly house cleaning does not happen on Spirit Day because Spirit Day is just for you. Shopping day is, just when we get the groceries or we go to Costco or we have to do our like drugstore stuff. Once again, shopping day really only affects Steven because he's the one that does the shopping. For some insane reason, he does not like to take me with him to Costco. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that as soon as I'm there, I wander around for like hours looking at like the stationery and like doing stuff like, oh, maybe we should buy extra virgin coconut oil and I could make my own body butter. Like that's the kind of stuff that happens to me at Costco, and it drives Steven crazy. He just wants to get in, get out, get his stuff. So he tends to go to Costco on his way home from work without me. But my job is to go to the drugstore. I love the drugstore. It's my favorite. So then we sit down and we figure out what day he's going to go to Costco. I'm going to go to the drugstore. And he also usually gets the groceries on that same night too, because I get distracted in the grocery store and I wind up buying things that I never would think of just because I like wandering around and buying separate things. Okay, so that's basically how I organize my life. And that is why when you look at, where are we, July? When you look at my zones, it has, okay, you kind of can't tell because for this month I had to put the sticker over it, but zone 1, it was like, here was the project. And this whole week, this is the zone that I was in for cleaning. So even if I had to work like a dog for that whole week, I at least knew what days we were doing what stuff, and I was able to kind of plan my time accordingly because I knew all of that. I'm not saying that this like system works for everybody. I'm just saying that this is incredibly helpful because there is a lot of stuff in your life that you need to take care of, and including yourself, including your partner, including just regular running your household type things like shopping, errands, cleaning, projects, organizing, all of that. And it can be really overwhelming personally, just to kind of look at it every single week and be like, oh my God, like all this stuff I have to do. No, I don't want to do any of it. And then I find myself not really participating in the upkeep of our home and not really, I don't know, feeling good about myself because I've accomplished nothing in one week. And I don't know, it just becomes kind of a terrible spiral of demotivation. So having kind of a plan like this keeps me motivated, keeps me on track, and helps me to allot the time that I need to each thing without making me feel like that's it my entire life. And it becomes kind of it becomes pleasurable to do. Like, I like to sit down and plan my week with Steven every week, and I like that we make time for each other and time for ourselves. And I like that everything so far has been going really well, and I've already managed to do 3 different things that I wanted to do in my house. 3 different things that were nagging at me for months and months. I was able to get them all done within the first half of this month. That's amazing. Blows my mind. I love it. Highly recommend it. If you want to know more about zones and things like that, then I definitely would recommend the flylady.net website, because it was extremely helpful for me when I started this whole project, and will continue to be a very helpful resource for me as I go on. And I hope that this was helpful to somebody, whatever, who cares. And I will talk to everyone later. Bye.